After 40 years of travel, I have made my fair share of wardrobe mistakes, especially on travel days. Today, I am going to help you choose your best travel outfit while avoiding some common and possibly dangerous mistakes. Let's go. Getting right into it, the first thing you want to avoid wearing is anything that is restrictive, binding, or just too darn tight. Now, this might seem like common sense because after all, you want to be comfortable for those long travel days. But there are also some very important health reasons to avoid tight clothing. Although there is one exception to that rule that I'll talk about in just a little bit. The first reason to avoid restrictive clothes is the phenomenon called jet belly or airplane bloat. There are two reasons why you feel more bloated on a plane. One is due to the extra gases or inflammation in the gut, and the second is due to high water retention, what we normally think of as bloating. When you're traveling at 40,000 feet in the air pressure in the plane is much lower than what your body is used to at ground level. As the pressure falls, the gas expands, which is why those pretzel bags always seem so inflated. I know, science is amazing. And that happens in your gut too, expanding your waistline no matter what type of clothes you have on. The bloating due to water retention happens because we tend to drink less water when we're traveling, and so much of the processed food that we eat at airports and on the airplane are very high in sodium. Of course, you don't want to be wearing anything tight around your waist and belly when you are bloated. I mean, that's just torture. The other health reason to avoid wearing binding clothes, including super tight bras and underwear and tights, is that it restricts the flow of blood and could cause dangerous blood clots in the deep veins of your legs. Because you are sitting in such a confined space, especially these days, for long periods of time, and especially for flights that are over 3 or 4 hours, there is a greater risk of developing what is called a deep vein thrombosis. As we get older, especially over the age of 40, and those of us who may be on hormone replacement therapy, in addition to other risk factors like varicose veins, being overweight, and maybe you have a family history of clots, we all need to take extra precautions when we are taking these long flights. The one piece of tight clothing that you should wear, and honestly, I've just started wearing these regularly on flights, are compression socks or compression hose that will help keep with the blood circulating during the trip. Another hint is to also keep moving your feet and legs around, especially every hour or so. They suggest pulling your knee up to your chest and kind of flexing your foot back and forth, and then doing the same thing with the other leg. If possible, try to get up and walk around for a bit. It's a great excuse to have to get up and use the bathroom, is to, keep from getting those blood clots. Tight clothing you want to avoid wearing are tight or even slightly snug jeans, compression leggings, or anything with a tight belt. Instead, if you want to wear jeans, choose a looser boyfriend style jean that has maybe a little bit of stretch to it. And instead of compression leggings, choose a looser fit legging, or what I prefer to wear is a nice pair of lightweight 4-way stretch joggers. As for belts, I would just pack your belt in your luggage and you can wear it when you get to your destination. Not only are the belts restricting on the plane, but they are a huge hassle when going through airport security. Now I know I just told you not to wear tight clothes, but you also don't want to go too far in the other direction, as the second thing you should avoid wearing on the plane is anything too loose and flowy. That beautiful maxi dress you can't wait to wear on your beach vacation, save it for the beach. And that long drapey cardigan that is so cozy, pack it in the suitcase. And one that I have made the mistake of wearing a couple of times are those really comfy wide-legged pants. All of these items run the risk of getting caught on different things and ripping, or when you go to use the bathroom, they just kind of pull at your feet on that very dirty floor. Also, these types of clothes have a higher chance of wiping across other people and surfaces, which potentially expose you to more germs and viruses. If you want to be a bit dressier on the plane and wear something other than loose jeans or a nice pair of joggers, opt for a nice pair of ponte or stretch dress pants like these that are comfy in the waist and belly, or you could even choose a pair of cropped flare pants, which would be a nice option too. And instead of that long, bulky sweater, choose a sweater or hoodie that's made from more streamlined but cozy materials like cashmere or merino wool. And you could take cozy to the whole next level by adding a cashmere or cashmere-like scarf. After all, we never know what temperatures those airplanes are going to have blasting into our faces once we sit down. The third thing you want to avoid when choosing your travel day outfit is white or light colors. I mean, this may be just a me issue because when I wear white, I seem to attract coffee and red sauce. I mean, generally not at the same time, but man, I can't tell you the number of stains I haven't been able to get out of my jeans. But seriously, when you are spending anywhere from 4 to 20 hours or more making your way through a variety of airports, getting in probably more than one airplane seat, your statistical potential for sitting on something, brushing up against something, or having someone spill something on you is pretty high. And don't even get me started on airplane turbulence. Out of the last 8 flights I've taken, I've had 3 different instances where people have either spilled something on me or they've knocked my arm and I've spilled something on myself. It was nothing major, but if I had been wearing white, I'd probably still be trying to get the stain out. It's best just to pack those lovely white jeans and cream-colored sweaters for when you get to your destination. Now, sometimes I will wear like a white tank top or a white base graphic tee as my underneath layering piece for the travel day, but that's usually when I know I'll most likely have my jacket or sweater on for most of the day. If you prefer a lighter color option for your travel day outfits, consider something more in the khaki family, which khaki happens to be a really big trend this fall. Or you could even go with like the putty gray color like these joggers that I wear a lot. Both will do a much better job of disguising most stains. And of course, carry a Tide stick with you so you can attack any stain that happens as soon as it happens. Fourth, let's stay away from anything too revealing. And I kind of hate to even say this word because it feels so judgy, but don't wear anything inappropriate, which is very subjective, I know. To me, this kind of means for your own comfort and probably for the comfort of those around you, it's a good idea to maybe save those booty shorts and overly cleavage bearing tops for when you get to your destination, even if you are headed to Vegas. When you're headed to Vegas, just wait to change into that party outfit once you get there. There's just a lot of skin that will be exposed to all the things in the airplane, on the seats you pass, in the bathroom, the people sitting next to you, and they're sitting very closely next to you. A surprising fifth item or items to avoid are certain types of jewelry. Anything really large, especially large pendant necklaces or big bangle bracelets, they're going to have to be removed when you are going through airport security. Also, those bigger items can more easily get caught on things or like get in the way when you're trying to get your backpack on and off or your tote bag on and off, or just generally dealing with things in the plane when you have to bend over and pull stuff out of your personal item. And to be considerate to your seatmates, don't wear noisy bangles that are going to jingle and jangle every time you move. That can be incredibly distracting to someone for a long flight. Lastly, something I've learned through the years is to avoid wearing straight post earrings like these, especially if you are planning on sleeping on your flight. When you press your head one way or the other, those posts, or at least for me, the posts stick in the back of my head, and like it's just like I've got this little pokey thing sticking in me all day long, and it's just really uncomfortable. I prefer to keep my jewelry very simple on travel days, wearing hook-through earrings like these and some of my favorite rings. Otherwise, I save the other very limited necklaces and bracelets that I bring with me for later in the trip, if I even bring any at all. Although this isn't really a wardrobe item per se, the sixth thing you want to avoid is wearing an uncomfortable hairstyle. For me, if I wear a tight, high ponytail for a long period of time, I start to get a pretty bad headache. And the same happens if I wear a headband, which I know headbands are back this year. Lots of people wearing headbands. Very 1980s nostalgia fashion is happening these days. The headbands always kind of press against that area right behind my ears, and I get almost an instant headache when I put one on. Instead, I'll try to style my hair in, my normal loose curls and just wear it down for the day. But if I don't have access to be able to curl it and the frizz is just out of control, I'll either put it up in a high loose bun or in two loose braids down the side of my face. Then it still kind of looks presentable, and I can hopefully avoid a headache. While we're sort of talking about personal care, a bonus item to avoid is wearing perfume or cologne or any really strong scents on the plane. So many people these days, myself included, are very allergic to manufactured scents, and the recirculated air on the plane makes us all even more sensitive to those scents. Again, safely pack those perfumes and colognes in your liquids bag or your checked luggage and enjoy them once you arrive at your destination. Finally, let's talk shoes, one of my favorite things. The seventh thing you want to avoid including in your travel day outfit are a few certain types of shoes. The first being high heels, especially pumps. But I'd also avoid wearing high wedges and even some of those exaggerated platform shoes. You never know when you might have to make a run for your next departure gate. And if you are wearing shoes that prevent you from running, you might just miss your flight. And as I said before, your body is going to be doing all sorts of swelling, making those tight shoes very, very uncomfortable. The second shoe to avoid is the flip-flop or open-toed sandals. Now, I will admit I've done this a few times because I have TSA PreCheck, so I don't have to take my shoes off. But man, I just felt like my feet were so disgustingly dirty by the time I was done with my travel day. And lastly, I would avoid pull-on knee-high boots. They are hard to get on and off, and if you don't remove them, they are going to restrict how much you can move your legs and feet around during a flight. Your best options for travel day shoes are a comfortable slip-on shoe like my favorite Hey Dudes, or my mom's favorite Skechers, or a really cute and stylish multifunctional sneaker. And lucky for you, I just did a big review of 13 popular sneaker brands that you can check out over here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have safe and wonderful travels.